Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial here, and today we are going to crack on with the Koenigsegg. Now what we're going to do in this episode is we're probably going to put in an underside to the car so that we can see some differentiation between the actual mesh and the back, and I think that would be a good time to start the actual front splitter here, and then if we get time maybe we can work along the top section here. So in order to start this underside, what we're going to do is we are going to start here with a tube, a cylinder even, and we're going to rotate this around here 90 degrees on the Z axis, and we're just going to pull that into position over the wheel here. So we're going to make a little section for the arch, and then we're just going to make a basic flow that's going to run along the whole of the car here. And what we'll actually do is just use a couple more subdivisions. Maybe we'll just say 32, and then we can quite simply just boost that up to roughly the size of the actual arch. So we'll go something like that, that'll be fine. And then what we'll do is we will delete all of these lower faces here in the bottom half, and let's just make sure we get all of those. And then what we'll do is we'll pull this out slightly here. So what we're going to want to do with this is delete all of the front facing faces here, so we're just left with the inside, and we're going to want to switch the normals around. So we can see that we've got a black line, black shade on the inside here, and then we've got grey on the outside. So that means that the normals of this element are facing out the way, but we want the normals to face in the way, because this, when the rest of the car is finished, this is the only section that we're really going to see. So we need to select all of these faces here, and then we need to go to mesh display and reverse, and that's going to flip the normals on those selected faces here, so we can see now we're grey on the inside, black on the out. Now in our side view here, we are going to want to grab these lowest vertices here, and we're going to want to bring them down. Maybe bring a few of these down as well, just to give it a bit more shape. Maybe take these ones halfway in between here. So this is going to be where our wheel is sitting inside our wheel arch. Let's just pull that in here. And what we're going to want to do with this is we're going to want to essentially bring all these vertices inside here, and we're going to want to quickly align them on the inside of this wheel arch here. So we'll quickly need to pull these individual vertices here. Now we don't need to matter too much whether it's lined up 100% just now, because we will be extruding elements of the wheel arch in, which will hide a lot of these points here. So we'll just pull them roughly in place just now. What we'll also do is we will select the edges here, and we'll select these two edges on this side. We're going to hit Ctrl E, and we're just going to extrude these edges out just here. And with our vertices option selected, we are going to hold down X and snap that into the center of the grid. We'll do that with all of these vertices here. Now what we can do is we can Ctrl D this, so we'll duplicate that, and we can use this for the rear as well. Now what we're going to want to do with this is select our edges again. We'll select these front two here. We'll just hit Ctrl E to extrude these out towards the front. Now the splitter is probably going to sit a little bit lower than this, so we'll just bring it out to something like that, and then that will allow us to bring this point down just inside here. So the splitter for the front is probably going to sit a little bit lower, so we don't need to really worry too much about that just now. What we could do is we can position now our rear section. So we'll drop this just here, and we'll need to scale this up a little bit, I imagine, because the rear wheel arch is slightly larger. Put that to position there. And what we'll do here is we'll just grab these two edges, we'll hit Ctrl E, and we'll pull this out here. So what we'll want to do is just the same as the front. We'll pull this out so it's practically on the arch here, and then we'll just adjust the vertices in here so they're sat on the inside of the arch rather than the outside. And again, we can finalize that later on. It's not a huge deal just now if we've got a few protruding vertices. Okay, so we're going to grab these, we can hit mesh and combine, and we're quickly just going to edit mesh and merge. We're quickly going to merge these vertices together, so we hold V to snap these just like we had before, and then we can merge these two together here. Okay, so we've got a super quick basic flow there, and looks like I'm not quite sat in the center here, so let's just quickly snap these back here. Okay, so what we'll quickly do with this is we will quickly open up Hypershade here, and then we'll create a quick Lambert, and we'll very quickly just darken this down here, and we can assign this to our elements. So we can hold down the middle mouse click there just to assign that to a bit. Then we'll do what we did earlier. Well, in the previous episodes, we'll hold down D for the pivot and X for the snap. We'll snap that into the middle there, and we'll quickly hit duplicate special. Oops. Looks like it's not going to like that, so let's go here. There we go. So duplicate special just to flip that over to the other side there so we can kind of see we've got a quick flow. Now what we're going to do is work on the front splitter. So we're going to do this with a, let's actually have a quick look to see if it is worth doing at this early stage. Yeah, that'll be fine. So we're going to do this with a separate plane. So we'll create a new plane here, and we'll bring this out to the front. And by default, I think mine's got a few subdivisions, so we'll take that down to 1 and 1. And what we'll do with this is we will start with this element, probably start with this in the middle here. So let's snap these two edges here to the center by holding X. We'll just take those into the middle there. And we'll pull this up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to model the top section, and we're just going to extrude down slightly for this. So quickly here select, oops, quickly select these interior parts here. We can pull this up like so. So we've got that slightly downward facing section there. So what we'll want to do is see how far in. I'm going to want to bring this quite considerably, so we'll take that in something about there. That should work quite nicely. And what we'll do with these is we will take the edges here and we'll firstly go up to this point here. Okay, so that's looking good. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the edge and we're going to hit Ctrl E. So we're just going to continue extruding this around the way. So we're going to come out here and then we'll Ctrl E again, and we'll take this all the way out to the edge over here. Fine for now. And what we'll want to do with our vertices is we'll grab this point here and pull this forward. Now it doesn't matter hugely if we're over this, because when we do smooth this it will be a little bit better for us here. Bring this one all the way out to this point here. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to ensure that our diffuser here, firstly at the back, is getting slightly lower, as we can see back there, and we'll want to pull this point down here, and this point down here, so we can see that's kind of dissecting straight through there. That'll be fine for now. Okay. So we can see here that we want to maybe maintain that height just through there like so. So for this corner section, there's a few ways that we could do this. We could follow this edge all the way down and around and make this whole thing kind of like an L shape. Alternatively, we could take this edge all the way up here and then smooth this section out. Now, I think because of the way that this front section kind of smooths up, I think that we will actually want to make it more of an L shape. So we'll bring this back here, take this over there. So in order to do this, the first thing, if we're going to make this kind of an L shape, is we want this to be level here, because we don't want to be moving this element anymore after we do that. So we'll make sure that we don't mess around with the way that that works. And what we'll do here is with this edge, we're going to hit Ctrl E, and we're going to extrude this around, and we're going to take this all the way over to the edge here. Okay, and we can bring that down something like that. Okay. Okay, so we've got that sitting there just like so. And essentially what we'll want to do here is we'll want to insert some edge loops. And we'll just want to drop these in and insert a few more inside here. And we'll do a few at a time. We'll pull these points out here. We'll maybe take this one there, and this one out here. Now it looks like this one's going to want to sit out. And then let's insert a few more. So we'll drop one in between each of these now. Okay, so just going to make sure that everything looks like it's sat roughly at the right height there, which it is. Okay. So I think we're going to take that in here. Yeah. Right, and what we'll do is we'll insert another edge loop here. Again, just to help with this corner. And we'll maybe drop one more here and one more here. That'll help us bring that curve out there. Maybe we'll want one more just here. Okay, so we kind of got that shape going nicely around there. Now we can insert maybe one or two just around here. And here. And then we can do the same here. And here. So I'm just going to help maintain the curve around those elements there. Take this one back slightly. Okay. Now, what we'll want to do with this is grab on all of the lower edges here. We can hold Ctrl and drag to deselect everything else. And we'll hit Ctrl E to extrude. And on the lower section here, we're going to drag this down just to try and match the thickness. Something like that. I imagine it's probably gonna pop back. Something like here. Yeah, so we're popping back just underneath here. Like so. And then we can bring this edge here back to the start. Okay. And now it looks like what we're going to want to do is work on this sloped section. So if we come back in here with our edge loops, and we'll drop some in fairly close to the edge here. And oops, okay. And we'll grab all the edges here which look to be associated with maybe not that one. And we'll hit Ctrl E on this as well. And we'll pull this up to the correct location. Should be able to see on the side here. Put those back together. Kind of want to pull these back towards and drop them down. Like so. And we'll want these to curve a little bit nicer than that, so we'll bring them in something like this. Take any bottom sections. Okay, and then we just think what we want to do here is we just want to make these sections a little bit thinner. just going to snap that to it just to level that off. I'm also going to want to level these off as well. So selecting here, merging it to the lower vertices there, and then we're just moving it slightly away to make sure that it's absolutely as level as possible. Again, we just want to make sure that it's still quite thin there. We don't want it to be. Okay. Now, let's have a look and see. I'm not sure if this actually does it arch up. Yeah, so it does arch up there, so that's fine. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to pull these vertices slightly closer. Fine. Okay, just adjust these points here slightly. Cool. Okay, so that there's not looking too bad. We can get that duplicated across as well. Now, what we could look to do is look to having a work down this top section up here. So we could have a work down towards the back here where the spoiler is. Before we do, let's just make sure that we're sitting how we should here. So we'll probably align to the one side here because it will be easier to cut this out against the actual door there. And here there's no real reason why these would need to be not in line, so we'll bring those a bit more uniform. Now what we're going to try and do here is we're going to want to try and keep that shape. Now on the rear, let's have a look. We should be able to start seeing this now on the back view. Okay, so we can kind of see how all of these are sitting. Now it looks like they're not quite sitting high enough. So this point here, if we look on the side view, it looks like all of these aren't actually sitting high enough in terms of the rear and the back view. So it's not too much we can do. We can maybe pull them up just a little bit, but we don't want to go up too far. So grab all these just a little bit here. And here. Now it looks like we're probably at some point going to need to put another line in the front there. So we can do that real quick just now. So insert an edge loop and we'll go just there, that should be fine. We can bring this out here to help round that section off. Okay, it looks like that wants to be a little bit lower. We'll pull those up there. We want to make sure that we've got a nice curvature, that our roof here is not too flat. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. So, down this rear section here, what we could do first is, I think it would be best to take a little bit of information. So we don't want to take all of this section too. So if we grab these points here and we hit Ctrl E to extrude, and what we'll do is we'll take them all the way down to this lower section here. And I think what we want to do is we'll want to kind of scale them together because it looks like it gets thinner and thinner as we go. And we want to leave room for a little bit more detail to come down here and a little more detail to come down here. So we can scale those in fairly slim there, so it looks okay. And then we'll want to make sure that we're bringing them all the way down here. So if we look at that, it looks like we're almost at the very bottom there. So if we go to our rear view, our back view here, we can kind of see what we'll want to do is scale these down again just a little bit, like so they start to flatten off. And that looks pretty good. Okay. And we'll probably put a little bit of detail inside here, so we can maybe... Actually, we don't want to put too much detail because we don't want to trip ourselves up with this next section. So maybe what we'll do is we'll bring this as well. So we'll grab all this, we'll hit Control E. And again, we're going to need to scale this down a lot. Not too much that we can't see some of these edges though. So it may be that we may want to lose one of these. I think what we'll do is we'll lose this. So we'll select that line there, we can hit Edit Mesh, Delete Edge and Vertices. Now, we don't want to be taking too much information down there and make it too difficult for ourselves at an early stage. So we'll bring this around here, bring this around here. Just like so. We'll make sure that we're still looking good in this top section as well. Okay. So it looks like all of this is contributing to this curve. So what we'll do is if we merge here, we'll edit mesh and we'll merge those two together. I think what we'll want to do is this edge here, I'm going to want to bring it quite far back. We'll bring it along level here. So I think that's where that element is going to want to sit. I'm going to Control V and then just drag horizontally those elements there. No, I think actually I want to stop that just here. Now again, remember guys, I haven't modeled this myself, so it's just having to think about how we should put this bit together. So what we could maybe do is flatten off this edge. So we'll select all of these and use the scale tool here. I think what we'll aim to do is we're just for now, we're going to aim to get a similar distance between all of those elements together. And we already know that these ones here are roughly in the right location. So we'll bring those down as well. That looks pretty good. And what we'll do is we'll insert an edge loop and we'll drop one in here which is level with what we have already here. So we'll drop that just there. And again we'll try and straighten that off. This will allow us here to kind of start to have a think about the curvature, but don't want to. Let's go for the top. There's a few here. If we bring that up, and then we can kind of distribute that difference between each of them. Looks like we've gone a bit higher there than we need to. Up a little bit. So we can actually bring these a little bit further away to help kind of work our way down the curve. Because what we've got to remember is the more kind of information we have next to each other, the harder it's going to be in terms of getting them laid out nicely. So well, we won't extrude that just yet actually, because as soon as we do that we've got a triangle and that's going to make it a little bit awkward to add some geometry. So what we'll do is we will insert 2 more edge loops and we'll bring one part of the way down here and we'll bring this up a whole load higher. Let's try and get these in line as well. Okay. Now, don't at this stage, don't think we'll want this to be too much lower than what's already there. So we can bring that up a little bit here. And then we'll bring one more edge loop down to about here. And again, we'll make sure we're just pulling up these higher points here. And then we can kind of distribute that back down. Now let's check the back view. Okay, so we have this coming down here, which is looking okay. Let's just maybe help shape this a little bit more here. Okay. Now these points here look like they're sat at a decent height, that's fine. And these points here again look like they're sat quite nicely. So I think in general here it needs to be a little bit higher. I think that will be the same for these, because we can see that at the foot of the spoiler that's where they should sit. So we'll bring these up a little bit higher, which will allow us then to bring those up to match, and then we'll maybe bring these up as well. So it's on more of a slower, less steep descent down there. But what we will want to do is make sure that we're not coming up too much. Okay, that's looking good. What we'll do is we'll create some more edge loops here. We'll drop one just in line there. We'll drop one in line here. Now before we do anything, before we start connecting these, what I'm going to do is just make sure that there's no additions that we need to make to the geometry here. So I think that's sitting nicely on track there. Same here, maybe just pop it out a little bit more actually. So just pull this one out slightly as well. Okay, so that's looking pretty good down there. And what we'll do is we'll grab these edges here and we'll bridge those together. Bridge those, and then we can fill the hole there. So we can kind of see now that extra step that we have inside, so we can really see now this kind of profile of the car taking shape quite nicely. Now, what we could maybe do is have a think about the next rotation inside here, the extra rotation. So we'll maybe take this in here. Okay. Now we probably want to look at that in a little bit once we've got the scoop in place. So I think the next step would be now to work around the rear of the car using our second section here. So it looks like the front, we've still got this extra line to carry across here, and it looks like it's a complete separate section which sits now nicely in behind here. I'm assuming to let some airflow come from behind the wheels. We've got the side skirt along the bottom. So I think a good shot here now would probably be just to work around the rear side here. So we can kind of see that we've got a little bit of a groove going along here. So it looks to me like maybe we've got kind of a triangle section here, and then this comes out a little bit underneath. It could be, so look what we've got. Okay, so we could work it as kind of a triangle section and then extrude out from that triangle. It could be that we probably just easy enough just take it all the way around as well, so it doesn't look like it would be too much of an issue to do this either way. So what we'll do is we'll grab the edge here and we'll hit Ctrl E. We're going to take this in. Now what we'll do is we'll maybe go part of the way and maybe get less and less each time, like so. And let's use a scale tool here to straighten off this point here. Okay, so we can kind of pull that around there, and then using our rear view here, we can pull this around. So what we can do is we can use this point of reference here. So we've got this kind of side repeater. So what we can do is if we pull to the back edge of that on either side, that'll be fine, and then we'll kind of get that curvature with us as we go, which is good. And we'll hit these edges again, and we'll hit Ctrl E, and we'll go out this time to this kind of inset area here, which will allow us then to pull in to there as well. So that looks pretty good. So it looks like we're getting that nice curve here. So on the side, what we'll do is we'll pull these in a little bit again. Looks okay. Now it looks like what we'll do is we'll go to the other end. So we'll take that around here. Now the difference now is that we've kind of lost that shape. We don't need to maintain that shape anymore. So we can pull that out here. So on our rear, we kind of want to change it, our point of focus. We kind of want it to go back the way. Now let's just deselect that line extra face there. Oops, just reselected it there. So what we want to do here now is we kind of want to go back the way, because we want to make sure that the next thing we go for is this kind of shape here. So I'm going to bring that in like so. Now both of these look like they need to come back again and again. Now what we want to do with these is we'll probably want to bring those up. We can drop that one down. Like so. Bring this up here as well. So we've got that nice kind of corner shape as we go inside there. This one here we could take in a little bit and could maybe take in this point as well, just to kind of help that curve go around and be a little bit smoother. Okay, now what we've actually got is we've got a little bit of extra detail on the top here. So what we may want to do is we may want to insert another edge loop. We'll drop that in just here. And this edge loop here we can maybe drop and follow around this section. It looks like maybe a little bit of an angle to that. We check that orthographic view as well. So we can see that it is actually slightly indented there. So what we may want to do is just have this bit for now popping out, and then we can maybe take this bit in just a little. So we've kind of got that popping out kind of shape to it, kind of kicking out there, there. And then we can maybe drag this bit in to kind of show, give a bit more emphasis to that bit there, which is kind of kicking, kind of popping out a little bit. So once we've got a little bit of definition to the mesh there, when we start to smooth, that should look pretty good. Okay. What we'll do now is we'll take the edges here. We'll maybe extrude one more time. Just up here. And then just slightly pop that out. And what we'll do real quick for the edge of the episode here is we'll pull these slightly more into position. Here and here. Can't see any of this in the top view because of the wing there. That's not looking too bad. Okay guys, so I think we'll cap the episode off just there. So we've made quite decent progress. We've got the rear section of the car started. I think in the next episode what we'll do is we'll go along the rest of that bumper, maybe have a look at throwing the diffuser in real quick. We've made a nice attempt at this top section here, and we've got the front half of the splitter done there. So I think in the next episode we'll continue around the back here, hopefully continue up, get a lot of the details in there before working our way around the sides. Okay guys, cool.